So apparently, all these orders, like the Jesuit order is an order of the Catholic Church, and there's, the Dominicans and the friars and all these different orders that really have gotten their tentacles all through our political and educational system. And I realized, for several years, I've gone off on the higher educated. They're just so smart. In 2020, it was very easy to call them out because everybody was like, well, here's the higher educated and all the experts, and they got everything wrong. But long before 2020, I saw what a problem it was in nursing. Because I've mentioned magnet of nursing. This is some ridiculous thing that's supposed to, if you're a magnet hospital, it means that you have the best practices. Well, no, I think that's dying down anyway. But what I noticed with it is it's more about, well, how many letters do you have after your name? Because that's what we Jesuit nurses will determine is what makes you a good nurse or not. So see, I'm just an associate degree nurse. I'm just, dirt on that totem pole, which I'm fine with. But see, what a Jesuit nurse, like that chief nursing officer I dealt with, and I would say maybe some other ones at that place too, at that first nursing job, they didn't like me, even though they said, oh, these ideas are so good, Bethany, that you brought, because I did bring creative ideas in that helped the patients. And not because I never wanted recognition for any of it. I didn't, never, I swear on God, I swear on Jesus. It was more just to help the patients, especially the kids, because they were in the state system that I saw didn't really care about them. So like I brought a butterfly habitat in. It was a great educational tool. They got to watch the caterpillar turn into the butterfly. There was, like all 10 of them. And we had kids for a long time because they were all from group homes. So they responded to this. They were adolescents. There were just different simple things I did. And they brought positivity to the hospital. So even though they would say this was a great idea, you could tell that they really hated it because, well, it was coming from somebody like me, and I'm just some measly associate degree nurse, and I went to a city college. I didn't go to some big Jesuit important order of Jesus society. Well, yeah, thank God I didn't, because at least gave me a moral compass. I wouldn't expect much of a moral compass out of the Jesuits because of the fact that they're more about themselves. They're more about them being praised and having all these letters after their name, but not for the right reasons. Not because they want to put patients first. That's part of the issue I've had with nursing. Is like, who comes up with half of this shit? Well, this is who comes up with it. Yes, people have had issue, I guess, with the Jesuits going back to the 1500s. And everybody says, oh, it's just a conspiracy. No, it's really not. And they brought in much. The Catholic Church brought in much of this diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff. Just look into some of these orders. It even goes back, I can't believe I'm going to say this, it goes back to the Black Pope. I had a patient years and years ago I never had heard of this and was carrying on about the Black Pope. And you look into it, it goes back to an order of the Catholic Church. So, of course, they would want their diversity and inclusion, but they're the ones that are racist. As I've been saying, the people pushing diversity, equity, and inclusion are using these words, and they're really the racists. Which is why I've said, like, American Nurses Association was basically created by the Jesuits, because that's what they network to do. They get into all of these positions in every form of leadership, in every industry, and then especially in politics. And that's all it's about for them. They'll step on any other nurse, they'll step on any other patient, and they see you as just a stepping stone on the way to them getting higher and being recognized. And really what they want is just to destroy America because they're a bunch of socialist scumbags. Yeah, I have no problem saying it because I've dealt with it. A lesson for nurses from the Jesuits. This was 2013. So we have the first ever Jesuit Pope. It may surprise those unfamiliar with Catholic theology and history to hear that nursing might benefit from having its own version of a Jesuit order. Oh, and you went on to do it, didn't you? But long before this. Yeah. You people have made such a disgrace you have made things ridiculously complicated. This is why American Nurses Association doesn't like me, and I don't like them either. Because I actually stand up for patients. I actually advocate for patients. They don't want that. They want to talk about advocating for patients, but when it really comes to advocating, they don't want you to stand up. No. Only the Jesuit nurses from the Ivy League schools want to stand up and be recognized, because it's all about them. It's not about patients. And they're all about driving culture and change, and they suck at it. Yeah, they should have just stuck to, they clearly didn't get into nursing for the right reasons, like making it about the patients, but not a surprise. So their vision, very misguided one, of course, but then they're not following Jesus, even though the Jesuits are the order of Jesus. Okay, just find out how much that'll work out for you when you realize that Jesus doesn't like you just using his name, when you really walk in the opposite direction. The network envisions a just and humane world in which nursing faculty work in solidarity to drive cultural changes. Oh, really? Really? And why do you Jesuit nurses think that you should be driving cultural changes? Look at what a fantastic job you've done. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. I saw it, Dr. Barb. Dr. Barb, who wasn't even a doctor, wasn't even an MD, but such an important woman because, well, she was from a Jesuit sorority, of course. I should probably bow down to her. She can do whatever she wants, right? Inspire inclusive perspectives and support behaviors of faculty and students to sustain vibrant academic environments throughout Jesuit schools of nursing. Yeah, any nurses out there thinking about going into nursing, just stay away from the Jesuit schools. Even though they'll make it all sound pretty and it's all flowery, just go into it for the right reasons and don't worry about what all the experts tell you have to do. Just do what's in the best interest of patients, and you'll be good. You don't even have to go to one of the Ivy League schools to be a good nurse. It's all about the Catholic identity. Yeah, of course it is. The Jesuit Nursing Programs Network is a collaborative and supportive consortium that promotes a Jesuit Catholic nursing identity to advance nursing education and improve health. Yeah, no, I would disagree. You don't improve health because you don't put patients first. Network members, that's really what it's more about. Networking all the way up to the political top of the chain so that they can control. They're a bunch of... It's the Catholic Church. It's the Antichrist. I'm just saying it. It is. There's enough people that have said that. We need to just accept this fact because all of the deeds are bad. Why would you want to be aligned with the Jesuits who love the Catholic Church? And yet the Catholic Church has gone on to abuse children. And that doesn't surprise me because when I worked in the Catholic hospital where the Jesuit chief's nursing officer was, she could have cared less what she did to that patient. It was all about her. And so was that nun there. They're all about their agenda, which has nothing to do with humanity. Network members are a highly engaged team of administrators, several of whom are participants or graduates of the Ignatius College programs. And look at that. It goes back to 1981, Diversity Equity Network. The Association of Jesuit Colleges and Universities established the Conference on Minority Affairs in October 1981 to provide a forum for professionals and students from Jesuit colleges and universities across the United States to share information relevant to students of color. Oh, well, now we know where DEI came from, and DEI, as I've been saying for years now, is the most racist thing. But then the Jesuit nurses and their societies and their associations of nursing, as I've said, they don't actually stand for true nursing and being the call for it. They're just for the Pope. And we know who the Pope works for.